Alright, welcome back to Sly 2, Band of Thieves. So we're just gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna go back to episode 1, the Black Chateau. And as I mentioned before, 100%ing Sly 2 is quite simple. It is collecting all the clue bottles. So nothing too major here. It's also most likely I'm going to be cutting a lot of stuff out, which is fine. Another thing I'll be doing is I'm going to be buying all the gadgets, or at least hopefully. It's a lot, so again, I'll probably be cutting that out too. And because this place is pretty complex, I'll be mostly playing Sly, but I might feature the other characters as well. So the first thing I want to do is that there is a cheat that's called the Time Rush gadget. And there we go. So the inputs is down, down, up, down, right, left. So what this will do is it allows us to increase the speed of the game while using our energy. So there are a couple bottles I missed last time. I don't know if it shows, but I guess we'll just have to try. Okay, so last time I only collected 20 bottles, which again is just fine. Because in the original playthrough I didn't go out of my way to collect them, similar to Sly 1. But it's really nice to come back to this game once more. And the thing is that collecting bottles in Sly 2 is a little bit more time consuming, but that's alright. So I hopefully have a plan of attack here that we kind of go from one side of the map, then hopefully it won't be too long. So let's quickly go back to the safe house. But yeah, there's nothing really else I can really share at this point. Other than bottle collecting is again time consuming. And unlike Sly 1, there is no Binocucom upgrade as far as I can remember to detect the bottles, which is unfortunate, but it's fine, it's not a big deal. I guess another thing worth mentioning is once you sell the loot, it is permanently gone. So that is something to be aware of. It is interesting though, I just finished recording the post game of Sly 1, seeing the graphics comparison between the two games is quite interesting, especially that the two game releases is pretty short, so seeing like a significant upgrade between the two games is quite interesting to me. One thing that I'm really, I guess, happy about in this game in particular is the bottles are not unbreakable objects. In the first game, Sly 1, the bottles could be in safes or crates or inside like objects, but in this game in particular, they're all in the overworld, and it's pretty easy to find them as well because there is an audio cue. So that's great. Like for example, I can hear the bottle here. So that makes it finding it much faster. So at least we're almost done. I guess it was just at this side of the map, and then I did not collect them. Because if I can remember in the original playthrough, it was Bentley's jobs that were here. But the one thing that makes this last bit a bit difficult is that you eventually kind of run out of places to check. So like at this point I already went through the map kind of once. I wasn't too thorough, but nevertheless kind of not done maybe a little sweep. We got another item to sell, so let's quickly do that again. And sometimes I just want to quickly be quiet so I can also listen for the bottles as well. But the one thing I'm a little nervous about, or kind of, I guess, I'm wondering how long it might take, is the later worlds. In the past, I always loved playing through this first world, kind of like messing around with it, like a sandbox. So I'm pretty familiar with the area, not the bottle locations, but at least just the feeling of exploring it. The music is nice too, so at the very least it doesn't make the game that boring. Okay, I found another one, that's good. I think I hear the last one. There it is.
With that last clue, I should be able to crack the code to the vault. Head inside and let's see what they're hiding in that thing.
Okay, so finally got all the bottles to the vault. Just gonna quickly return to the safe house because I did get some loot. And we almost have enough for the stealth obliteration. Now let's see, does the game tell me where the safe is? It does. That's great. So it didn't take too long to finish this cleanup session, I suppose. From my perspective, it took less than 20 minutes, so that's good. Kinda wondering how long it took me to do the other Or how much have I already finished in the other worlds? Or other episodes? Oh, actually, I think I can just go through the door here.
It took some higher level math, but I believe the code to Dimitri's vault is 231. You've gotten the knockout dive move.
Okay, he's not gonna explain it. So pretty much the knockout dive is you can knock people out. Kind of like in the first game, you get the dive. So that should be it. So actually I think it might be worthwhile just to save and quit, and we can jump into the next episode. Now, I kind of forgot that you can just quit from the screen with Irving Go, so it's now 100%, so that's good. So now we're going to be jumping into episode 2. A starry-eyed encounter. So again, we're going to be just playing as Sly, maybe at the end of the game, or once I'm finished 100%ing everything, I might showcase the other characters one last time with their gadgets. I think that would be fun. But what makes this episode, I would say map, kind of complicated is that there is a lot of small secret areas. I wouldn't call them secret areas, but we just call them that just for saying that it is kind of hidden and out of the way. So I'll first go to the secluded area that is near the safe house here, which is right here near the waterfall. I guess again in the previous or original playthrough, I only collected 19 models. So this one's timed, so let's quickly get back to the safe house. Kind of unfortunate I lost that loot there, but luckily it's not permanently lost. It will respawn sometime later. So it's not a big deal. So there were a couple of bottles in this area. I figured. And then I believe other locations could be near the palace or the other side. I'm just trying my best to be a bit thorough here to make sure I don't have to come back. But there's a high chance that I am gonna miss some here. I guess we can move on to the areas near the palace. Again, there's a lot of, let's say, out of the way areas like this one here. But considering that this was for a job, I'm pretty sure shouldn't have missed too much, but again, we'll see. So I do hear one. What's unfortunate is that the guards can hear you breaking bottles, so kind of have to be careful. And there it is. I guess it might be worth explaining now that the reason why I pickpocket before killing guards without loot in their pockets is because if you kill them without pickpocketing, you won't collect as much coins as you would have. So I just find it a bit more efficient for coin collecting to pickpocket before killing the guard. So I hear another bottle right here. Yeah, it looks like we're progressing well. And just happen to be in the right place in the right time. So I'm gonna run back to the safe house just to get this loot in. I think it also replenishes your I guess energy as well. So at least it seems like we have got more things to play around with. So I guess I can quickly feature the glide. It's not as stealthy as it says it is, but it does improves your mobility just a little bit. As I've said, a little bit. Okay, so we finally found the last one. It did take a little while, but that's fine. To be honest, my progression is pretty going smoothly, going faster than I originally anticipated. So that is good. I am a little disappointed that it was in a place that I just checked and I had to go back to, but like I said, it is what it is, so. And most of the time they're just gadgets anyway for Sly. So these vaults are, not too significant, but sometimes some of the things you get are decent. And now that we have the silent assassination skill, it does make this bit a little bit easier. So I managed to get through that undetected.
I'd love to see the look on Rajan's face when he finds this vault empty. The code should be 857. You've gotten the insanity strike move.
Okay, so I guess I can quickly feature this one before moving on to the next episode. So the insanity strike is pretty much you can confuse or hypnotize your enemies to attack each other, or in other words, initiate friendly fire. I mean, technically they can already do that, but you can make them do it more intentionally. So there are some guards here, so let's quickly try that out. So maybe you have to do it before you get detected. I don't know. Oh, well, never mind. You can see it right here. Although I didn't remember hitting that guard in particular, but regardless, you can see them fighting each other now. But that's it. So let's go back to the episode menu and jump into episode 3. So here we go with The Predator Awakes. So again, we're going to be playing as Sly. His mobility is much easier with Sly. Now again, for this, call it map, it's a bit complicated, but I am grateful that most of these maps, or all the maps, are small, or small enough to really get through the entire map pretty fast. So it's not that, let's say, tedious to find all the bottles, but it's still pretty, still takes a while, so. We'll just have to see how long this will take. But it does look like I only found 15 in this episode, so this might take longer than the other worlds or other episodes. So that's alright. We can just take our time because, like I said, this is going much faster than I originally expected. We're making pretty good progress. Found a few here and there. It's just they're kind of, like I said before, in like hidden or kind of obscure places. Because it is a little, let's say hard when all the bottles are like just one. Unlike Sly 1, they're kind of located together. Everything here is now like separated. So I guess hopefully I really do pay attention to the sound cues. Because I think I did see some too. I just didn't get the chance to navigate my way there. So yeah, let's hope for the best, I guess. Okay, so I just want to make sure that after I get these bottles, I don't have to backtrack back to that path, other than to get the other one is on the treetops. But we're almost done, so now I do have to go back to get back to the treetops. I think I can make it with the paraglider. There we go. So that is all I remember seeing as so far. And hopefully the audio cues will help me find them. Found another one. I also didn't realize I could have used the ledge here, but oh well. Okay, so I think I saw the last one. It should be right over here. There it is. Okay, we made it. There's the water bug, and there is the vault.
Good thing I'm fluent in Sanskrit, or this last code would have been impossible. Try 386. Got the voltage attack move.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at it. So it just electrifies your cane. So technically that's like a one-hit KO. So I guess we can quickly showcase that. Yes, I know there are some guards out here anyway. So like most elemental attacks, they should be one-hit KOs. So there we go. So now we'll be moving on to episode 4. So as so far, we're making good progress. Everything is at 100%. And so here we go, a jailbreak. I think we can try to get beat reflexes first. It's also interesting that Murray is still not here. It's like when you replay or go back into an episode world, I think it's right before the final operation. So that's why Murray is not here in this episode. Now it looks like for this episode I did not collect any bottles at all. And for some reason I can't grab that. So it's gonna take me a while to collect some of the bottles, but again, that's fine. I'm gonna be editing it out anyway. But it is gonna be an interesting time for me to edit all this together. So at the very least, I can have fun kind of wandering around the clay area again. For this map in particular, it is quite big. I think as so far out of all the worlds or episode maps, I think this one's one of the biggest ones. Or at least it feels like it, in my opinion. So again, we'll just kind of wait and see. Okay, I managed to make it to the rooftops. But one concern I do have is whether or not I have to come back. I guess I could have gone from this pole, but I thought it was electrified, so... Oh well, my bad. I'm also starting to remember that most of this episode is also played with Bentley. So it would have been hard to collect most of these bottles with Bentley anyway. Okay, so pretty much more than half, 10 left. Or 9 left, I guess, technically. Just found more than 20. Again, I always like to compliment how fun it is, or kind of how easy it is to traverse throughout the entire map. Like, it just feels so seamless that even though I'm going around in circles, it still feels quite vast. It's like I'm about to go back around to the safe house. if I keep going this way. It didn't really felt like I was going in a really big circle. So it is nice that a lot of these maps feel like small logical islands. That the boundaries of the play area doesn't feel technically artificial, I guess, in my opinion. So that's what I really enjoy about playing these games. Okay, almost there. One left. Been having a bit of trouble finding that 29th one. I could hear it the entire time, but didn't know where it was. And there were a lot of bottles in the prison, which makes sense because I didn't bother to kind of mess around in the prison for too long, so it would make a lot of sense that I missed a lot of bottles in this episode in particular. But hopefully we can find the last bottle quite soon. Also just before I die. And unfortunately not. But it's okay, we can quickly reset our position. Oh, speaking of which, I guess the last bottle is here. So I can hear it. So that's good. So it was a good idea I did let myself die like that. Surprised it was right here near the safe house, and there it is. Okay, and there we go. Probably was a more quicker way to get to this mansion. But I felt like there wasn't a job that makes you come here, unless this is the crypts. No, I don't think so.
You need an IQ of at least 140 to figure this one out. That Contessa is smarter than I'd thought. I believe the code is 248. You've gotten the long toss move.
So I guess that's not really a particular useful upgrade. This means that you can throw farther. That's about it. So, I mean, it kind of helps for certain situations, I suppose.